Ladies and gentlemen, the NCERT's latest move has sparked a fresh language firestorm, this time in our school textbooks. As part of the new education policy rollout, English medium books are being renamed with Hindi titles. This courtesy the NCERT. So, for example, Honeysuckle for class 6 is now Poorvi, and class 1 and class 3 English textbooks will be called Mridang and Sintur, terms that are drawn from classical Indian culture. Yes, that's true, but are deeply rooted in Hindi vocabulary. The bizarreness doesn't end there. Even a class 6 mathematics textbook has now been renamed. And guess what it is being called? It's not being called simple plain maths or maths textbook or mathematics textbook. It is being called Ganit Prakash. Both in Hindi, of course, that's fine, but controversially in English as well. And the policy isn't even consistent because the science and the social science textbooks retain the original distinct names in English and Hindi. Now, the South is not pleased. Kerala's Education Minister V. Sivakutty has slammed the move as irrational and against federal values, accusing the centre of bulldozing linguistic diversity. And Tamil Nadu, already up in arms, calling it yet another Hindi push disguised as policy. Is this truly national integration or one language being forced down the throats of non-Hindi states? Remember, this comes at a time when Tamil Nadu, buoyed by the Supreme Court's rap on the knuckles for the state governor, has set up tasked a former Chief Justice, a former Justice of the Supreme Court to form a panel to explore autonomy for the state, including the all-important sector of education. It will be headed by Justice Kurian, Joseph Kurian. At a time when the centre-south relations are at an all-time low, such moves by the NCERT are not going to help bridge the deep trust deficit. So tonight we are asking, isn't this a textbook case of Hindi imposition? My guest this evening, I thank all of them for joining us. Professor Jyotsna is the national spokesperson of the TDP, ally of the Government of India. Thank you very much, Professor Jyotsna, for being with us. Good to have you on the show. Advocate Krishna Das is spokesperson of the BJP Kerala unit, joining us on the broadcast. Thank you, Advocate Das, for being with us. A. Sarvanan, spokesperson of the DMK, with us. Bhavya Narsimhamurthy, good to see you on the show again, spokesperson of the Congress Party. And Furkan Kamar is an educationist who will be putting everything we are seeing in the language war between the North and the South in perspective for us. Thank you all very much. Who should I start with? Maybe I should start with the BJP spokesperson on the show. Advocate Das, can I ask you, what is the logic behind naming an English textbook in Hindi? What is the logic of calling the English textbook of class 6 Poorvi, or calling class 1 and class 3 ka English textbooks Mridang and Santur?
Ma'am, good evening. I have gone through all the details related with the textbooks newly introduced by the names introduced by the NCERT. Just now, ma'am stated some names. I think all these names related with either Sanskrit or related with the common names used in Hindi, used in Malayalam, using in Telugu, Kannada, Tamil, all languages. Because Ganita is a common language. Then Poorvi, I think some names related with some sort of musical instruments or related with our culture or our ancient systems. So I don't think any difference it will make related with the English to Sanskrit, Hindi, or English to any other language. I don't think so. It is as part of connecting with our culture. It is part of connecting with our ancient systems. Nothing but I think any other major changes related with the changing of names. I don't think it is changing. This change will affect any language or any system or any state or any state's culture. I don't think so. It is part of changing curriculum or names or our NCERT syllabuses, etc. It is part of normal procedure introduced by NCERT or any other textbook committee of any state that will review the textbook details and textbook names. In Kerala also textbook names were changed in several times, several years also. This government also changed the names of the textbook. I don't think so. The changing of a particular name to any textbook related with a primary class or lower primary classes, it will make any issue.
Okay.
This is a system.
You are saying two things.
Yeah.
Okay, you're saying two things essentially then. You're saying two things. Number one, you're saying no need to take offense because, you know, words like Poorvi or Mridang or Santur are common to all languages. They are common to Hindi, they are common to Sanskrit, they are common to Tamil, they are common to Telugu, etc., etc. So no one needs to call it language imposition. That's your number one point, right?
Exactly.
And number two, you're saying this is consistent with policy. There are other governments previously who have changed names of textbooks. So this time also the NCERT is doing. My point is, if it's consistent with policy, there is no consistency in the name change. While for English and mathematics, right, for English and mathematics, you're changing the name. Even for an English mathematics textbook, you're calling it Ganit something. Point is, you're not doing the same. You have not changed the name for science or social sciences. So the policy is not consistent. But let me get in the DMK here. Mr. Saravanan, would you want to respond to the logic that the BJP spokesperson is offering here?
That is the logic there. The BJP's only logic is to, pointed out by you, shove Hindi down our throats, which we don't want. If we want to read a language, we will read that language. We don't need your prodding. We don't need your imposition on us. We are very, very clear on that. On many occasions, on many shows, we have made this very clear to you, Shreya. But now, this is bizarre. Making Hindi names in English. They have done that earlier. And this is not the first time they're doing. When they amended the penal code, same thing. They introduced names which we are not able to pronounce. As a lawyer, we find it very difficult to pronounce those names in the code. We call that new procedure, new penal code, new CRPC, the new Evidence Act. That is how we are using the terminology. Why should we use those terms which we have never been come across in our lives? How does it help us? It is not going to help us, and this is not going to help the students. This is going to confuse them. See, the idea of the BJP is very, very clear. They want to edge out English. They will keep speaking. English is of a colonial hangover and all that, but they will send all their children to flashy English schools. They will get their children educated in Harvard, Stanford, all the Ivy League schools, Cambridge, Oxford, everywhere. But the ordinary Karyakarta, he should not even know the honeysuckle. You are saying, the BJP spokesperson is saying that Poorvi is understood. I don't know, I have never heard the term Poorvi. This is the first time I'm hearing this term Poorvi. What is this? Why are you doing this? As though there is no other job for you. You have a job. Your job is to improve the economy of this country, improve the livelihoods of the people of this country. But what are you doing? Look at this politics, cheap, silly politics, at pushing Hindi. Why are they doing that? They are doing that so that we need not discuss other issues. We need not, why the youth are not given jobs, why the economy is in the downturn, why you are imposing GST on maintenance. If you are going to pay 7,500 maintenance and they're talking about while these issues are going on, they will silently introduce tax on UPI. Already they have increased the tax on ATM withdrawals. This is how, this is the time-tested game plan of BJP. Take up an emotional issue, make it a mainstream discussion issue, and slowly put down the common man, pull down the common man, so that they will not have the wherewithal to fight this authoritarian regime. This is the logic behind this. There is no other logic behind this. It is illogical. It is stupid to do this.
Okay. Professor Jyotsna, do you, as an ally of the government, but an ally that comes from the South, think what the NCERT is doing is stupid by calling English textbooks that teach English to class 1 and 3, Mridang and Santur? Or do you agree with what the NCERT is doing?
Shreya ji, up to a certain extent, I think I would also differ. But yeah, certain things we need to accept. Again, here, linking everything to politics is something that I am not in for. As an academician also, I'm not in for it. I'll tell you one thing: the national education policy, the newer one that we talked about. Shreya, I'm speaking about politics because I am talking about kids, small kids. The kids of first and second and third and fourth standard who are trying to learn languages, isn't it, Shreya? Let me talk as an academician here rather than a politician. Then again, I'll come to politics. I'm not going to leave it, but yeah. Now, according to the NEP's vision, what is NEP's vision? The National Education Policy's vision. Tell me that the point is culturally rooted, multilingual education system promoting natural cohesion. Why are we doing this? To maintain that the rich traditions and culture of India. We are trying to bring it back from the roots. That's what we are trying to do from the as a part of the NEP. Now, yes, certain things probably yes. English textbooks ke liye, English ka, I don't know. That I think even also I also think that should be changed. But yes, but the other things, let's assume change in the minor titles. It's I think the change that we see is only in the titles part. Shreya, it's not in the content as such. So there is no. I think there is a very minimal disruption to learning as such. Now again, renaming of it aims to integrate Indian culture into education. That's what I feel. I see it like that. As an academician also, I see when you talk about when you say mridang or when you say other words, other terms, when you coin those terms, to me it is like integrating my own language, my own culture into the system, into the education system, a noble goal under NEP 2020 using universally acceptable Roman script. It's not something that's out of the blue. We are doing it. So Shreya ji, for me, there could be some changes. Listen, Shreya ji. Now I'll come to politics part of it. And now I'll come to the politics part of it. Yes, there could be some changes we could ask for. Yes, definitely. Even as a Telugu speaking state, an individual coming from Telugu speaking state, I would love to have my language up there. That is my thing. So, but at the end of the day, we are talking about something universal for the entire country. So, some things could be changed, but politicizing the entire thing, I'm not for it.
Professor Jyotsna, are you telling me with Professor Jyotsna, are you telling me without telling me that the larger aim of the NEP, larger aim of the MEP is to unify the country via one language, and that one language is Hindi? So these changes one needs to accept. Is that what you're trying to say?
Not exactly. Absolutely not, Shreya ji. I'll tell you why I am saying not exactly. See, it's just not Hindi or any other language. There should be, see, I come to your, let's say, for example, I come to Delhi. Hai na? What is the language that I speak? And you come to Hyderabad.
Hindi, English?
I stay in Hyderabad, right? Let's assume you come to Hyderabad. What is the language that you try to speak? Or I go to Tamil Nadu because it is Chennai is one of my favorite places. I would love to go there. But there is some sort of a language barrier when I go there. So I think there should be some language, unified language. I'm not calling
it. But you
speak
English?
Yes, I do. But there are, when it comes to certain...
English is that language.
One second.
People in the Northeast speak English. People in Tamil Nadu speak English. People in Delhi speak English. People in Uttar Pradesh speak English. Jammu Kashmir too.
Yes, absolutely, Shreya ji. But at the end of the day, English is a language that I have got from something outside my country. I don't think it's from my own country. I don't know. Somewhere you feel that.
But English is also a language.
No, let me tell you one thing, Shreya ji, here.
English is also a language that helps us get jobs.
Tamil. No, I would love to learn Tamil. I would love to learn Kannada.
Shreya, 10 seconds to me.
I can, one second, sir. I know Kannada.
Okay.
I speak Kannada. So I would think the kids should learn more number of languages. That's my point. They should learn more languages. It's not like
10 seconds to me.
One language. I would.
Okay, go ahead, Mr. Saravanan. I still have not got an answer to what the logic is to call an English textbook for class 6 Poorvi. And to call an English textbook for class 1 Mridang, and to call an English textbook for class 3 Santur. No one has given me an explanation so far. Mr. Saravanan, go ahead, respond.
See, you asked a very, very pertinent question. Why can't English be that linked language? That is better. Because any language which is not my mother tongue is a foreign language. Let it be German, let it be Japanese, Chinese, Mandarin, whatever. Let it be Hindi, let it be Telugu. They are foreign to me. But whereas English is equally a third language, a second language, or a foreign language for anybody. If someone is speaking Hindi, for him, it is a foreign language. Someone from Tamil Nadu, it is a foreign language. Someone from Andhra Pradesh, it is a foreign language. It is a leveler. We want that leveler. English is the only language which can integrate us. We don't want Hindi. Hindi, let me finish, madam.
But Mr.
Let me finish.
Saravanan.
See, someone from Uttar Pradesh. I may be an expert.
Okay, go ahead.
I may be an expert in Hindi. But whatever it is, I cannot compete with someone whose mother tongue is Hindi. So when Hindi is used as a link language, when everybody else is speaking, then automatically the people who speak a third language, a language different from Hindi, automatically becomes a second-class citizen in this country. That is the reason why we oppose Hindi. We don't want Hindi as a link language. That is why we had a language war. That is why the 1965 Official Languages Act have been introduced, which said English and Hindi will continue as the link languages. There will not be any embargo on that. We don't want...
understand, Mr.
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Saravanan, two things. Ek to this country doesn't have a national language. I think all of us can agree on that. Number two, Mr. Saravanan, the fact is, there is no point denying the fact that more people speak Hindi in this country than any other language, right?
Absolutely.
And understand Hindi than any other language.
Absolutely.
Now, if a language is being spoken and understood by 70% of this country, then it lends itself to logic that becomes a link language. I understand the South is not very comfortable with it. You have your own point of view. I think Bhavya...
Just a minute. See, it becomes majoritarianism.
Okay.
See, federal setup, the constitution and the federal nature of our constitution acts as a bulwark against this majoritarianism. We don't want majoritarianism. That is the point. That is why India is a beauty. Diversity. We celebrate this diversity. If you take Hindi, then there is no diversity.
Shreya ji, can I just have a
Professor Jyotsna, quickly respond because Bhavya wants to speak as Professor Jyotsna, then I'm coming to Bhavya.
Yes. I'm sorry, Bhavya ji. I'll just take 2 seconds here. The point is, Shreya ji, if I have to talk about Tamil is the language of my neighboring state. I love it. Definitely, I love it. I love to learn that. Compared to English, probably I love it. So definitely, I think as Bharati, as Indian, I have a language which connects to me within the country. So I would love to have that language, as a connecting language, as you rightly quoted, link language, as simple as that. यहाँ पे कोई majoritarianism नहीं है, यहाँ पे कोई domination नहीं है, कुछ भी नहीं है. It's just that linking that you have got with the language. That's it. I believe it that way.
Okay, Bhavya Narasimha Murthy, can I just focus back on the topic we are discussing today? Language wars is one that has been raging for many, many decades now, but I just want to come back to what the NCERT has done. Do you see this as a concerted, covert operation by the government of India? Or is there also a chance that there was some over-enthu cutlet in the NCERT who decided to score some points and said, chalo, English textbooks ko bhi, let us name them in Hindi?
It might be either, but one thing is for sure. The center has been provoking and instigating the southern states using this Hindi imposition. We don't care if 70% of the country speaks Hindi. 30% doesn't want to. It's our right. It's our right. Whichever long language we want to speak, we're going to speak in it. I want to speak in English with others, I'll speak. If they do not know it, then fine, we will try some other way. But why Hindi? And coming back to the BJP spokesperson and Professor Jyotsna, you are an academician and I have huge respect for you. But I understand this is political compulsion for you to defend something like this, which you do not agree. It has been seen in your arguments, because an argument like English is it's come from British, so we'll accept Hindi. It doesn't make any sense, because you have a history. Your state has a history of an activist who gave up his life protecting your mother tongue against the same Hindi imposition. In southern state, there are so many activists who have sacrificed so much for the same cause. If BJP is doing this again and again, and come on, stop speaking about culture. I'm addressing the BJP spokesperson here with all respect, sir. And ma'am, you think Karnataka and Kannada doesn't have a culture? Why is it that Hindi's culture should be imposed on us through that language only? Okay, NEP
No,
has
what
your
will
own
say
explanation,
mathematics?
your own ideology
Madam,
of bringing
madam,
back the
what will
culture
say
or whatever
mathematics in Canada?
it is. Mathematics, excuse me,
What you
you
will,
think in every language
no,
mathematics is
what
called
you will
Ganita?
say mathematics in Canada?
You think in every language of India, if I'm only speaking for Kannada, I can always talk about Santur. We do not have a word called Santur in Kannada.
No,
Wait. You want just use Ganita. So you're just going to bring bits and pieces of languages from everywhere and justify your Hindi imposition to us? Sorry, sir. We are not so dumb to accept such a lame excuse.
No, what you will say,
We have
mathematics
our
in
own culture
Canada?
we are proud of, and we will not let you
No,
impose
what you
your
will say
culture on
mathematics
us
in Canada?
in the name of NEP or whatever it is. Then NCERT is followed by the central syllabus
Mr. Saravanan?
schools, which
What
are
about
follow
Ramanujan?
central syllabus schools
Bhavyaji, I have a
across the
question for you.
country.
What
It
about the
should be in
position of
English, as
Ramanujan?
simple as that.
Bhavyaji, I have a
As
question
simple
for
as
you
that.
because you spoke
Yes,
about
No,
our
ma'am.
can I ask one question?
Bhavyaji, I have a
Please.
question
I
for
have a
you.
question to you.
One second,
Yeah,
sir.
please. One at a
Bhavyaji,
time.
I have a question
Are
for you.
bhai, one minute. Bhavya ji, there are two people who want to ask you a question. We'll do it one by one. First, first Advocate Das and then Professor Jyotsna. Go ahead, Professor Das. Very quickly, your question.
Two aspects that, ma'am. One is in Kannada and in Tamil also Ganita. What is mean by Ganita? It may make any difference. Mr. Saravana, you tell me what is then what you will spell mathematics in Tamil? What you will spell in Kannada also?
Why should
Tell me,
Boliye,
you
ma'am.
Mr.
in Tamil
Saravanan,
or
please,
Kannada or
please
Telugu? It's an
respond.
English book.
It's
an
the
English
name
book,
of
for
mathematics
God's
in Kannada
sake.
and Tamil?
Why are you even
That is
mentioning
Ganita.
Telugu, Kannada, Hindi there?
Kannada.
It's an English book,
That is
for God's
Ganita.
sake.
What is the
Acha,
difference
ek minute.
Mathematics as
What
simple
is
as
the
that.
difference in between?
As simple as that.
Okay.
You cannot bring
No,
Bengali
you are
here.
Guys, let's not speak over each other.
You are not ready to accept
What
Ganita.
if a
You are
Gujarati
ready to accept.
spokesperson was
You
here?
are ready to accept mathematics.
Let's
You are
not
not ready
speak
to
over
accept
each other.
Ganita.
Gujarati was here.
No,
What if a Bengali was here? What if a Rajasthani?
I am telling.
What if a
Advocate
Northeast
Das.
person was here?
Advocate
Would you
Das.
give them an explanation, something like this? This is a very lame explanation, sir. Sorry to say this. What if a Northeast person was
Advocate
here? You would
Das,
find another word?
the problem is not, ek minute, Bhavya. Ek minute. Advocate Das, the problem is not that Ganita is being used. If you're teaching mathematics in Hindi, use the word Ganita, absolutely use it. But what is the logic in calling an English book that is teaching mathematics in English Ganita Prakash? There is no clear logic behind it, and there is no consistency as well with what the NCERT has done. But you asked an interesting question. I'll let Mr. Saravanan come in and respond to that before I go to Professor Jyotsna.
Yeah, see, in Tamil, we call this as Kanak. We don't use Ganidam, somebody use, but Kanak. Tamil, the max is Kanak Padam. So where is it? It does not represent us.
There you go.
See, please, BJP is not the sole repository to ensure that everybody should follow the same culture, same language. Stop this toxic obsession over this oneness. That is not good for the integrity of this country. You want to rule you want to placate. You want to only pander to the Hindi-speaking population because you think they are the majority. So just pander to them, get your vote bank, and be done with everything. And I'm again telling you, this is just a diversionary tactic. There is a method to this madness. They do this when so many issues which are pressing the nation crop up. They will take up an emotional issue, divert everything. But this is an issue, and there is also an ulterior motive. They slowly everywhere, they are pushing these Hindi names. Trains running in the state of Tamil Nadu. Erstwhile, it was in Tamil. Now, we are having this Tejas Express, Vande Bharat Express, and all that. We are raising a hue and cry. You are getting our money. Please use Tamil names for the trains which is running in the state of Tamil Nadu. Or should we run trains for people from North India to use them or to understand them? There is no logic to this. But they are doing this. That is why we are ensuring that the BJP stops. BJP does not impose, does not shove Hindi down our throats.
Okay, so there are two things, therefore, what Mr. Sarvanan's boss is now asking for. First, an autonomy commission has been formed to see how states can get autonomy from the center, at least as far as some things are concerned. And number two, what the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu wants is for education to now become solely a state subject. Currently, it's a concurrent subject, which means the state has a say in it and the center has a say in it as well. Now, Mr. Stalin is saying, let it be a state subject. Furkan Kamar, I want to ask you what exactly you think the NCERT was thinking, and were they thinking at all? Was this a case of them being more loyal than the king?
I would say so. I mean, your panelists have been making the discussion here very lively. I am surprised that nobody said that NCERT is an autonomous body and therefore government is not responsible. The fact is that they have been trying to be more loyal than the king.
They're all too smart.
And has already been said that this tantamount to about teasing the state government. We thought that after 1960, when we faced very huge language-related state, we thought that now we are past that stage. It's a very sad commentary on us that we are once again back to 1960 stage, where state after state are saying that there are many things which are imposed upon us. Language is one of them. Sad part is that the new education policy nowhere said that you should have a single unifying language. It said that what is important is the unity of the nation. And I think it is the responsibility of the central government to realize that India is a union of states. So India is a conglomeration of all the states, and the states have generally been formed on the basis of language. Linguistics are the basis of the formation of states. So I think it is unnecessary provocation. And I would say that there is still time. We should not delay it further. Let them convene the meeting of the Central Advisory Board on Education, where education ministers of every state are represented. Let our education minister of the union go with an open mind and evolve consensus. I admire our writers of the constitutions who had initially put school education in the state list. It was much later that the school education was brought in the congruent list when the Operation Blackboard, etc. was going. And I think this demand is going to increase further if we go on doing what we are presently doing. I think we need to evolve consensus on issues relating to content of education, the medium of instructions, how many languages should deal. And I would also go to the extent of saying that if we are really keen on southern state to adopt and to gradually adopt Hindi, I think our effort should be that first in the northern India, we should try to teach our children some of the southern state languages. Tamil, Telugu, Kannada. I mean, we should try to teach our children. How many of us North Indian know any of the languages that are the Tamil, say for example, or Telugu?
Sure. If we are given a choice, we will... No, in North India, if you're given a choice to teach your kid a language which is either Tamil or French, they'll probably take French. That is also the reality. But we'll leave it there. And Furkan Kamar, you asked a good question why none of the panelists have called the NCERT an autonomous body in a 28-minute debate. Because let's face it, there are no more autonomous bodies left in India. And even the BJP spokesperson and the TDP spokesperson will agree with it. Chalo, we'll wrap it here. This has been a nice spirited discussion. And the spirit in which it was done, I think, was very healthy. Thank you very much, therefore, everyone for being with us. Professor Jyotsna, thank you very much. Advocate Das, thank you very much. A. Sarvanan, good to have you on the show. Bhavya, thanks very much. And Furkan Kamar, thank you very much as well. Ladies and gentlemen, with that, it's a wrap from me. Thanks for watching. News and updates continue.